it's a trade-off. So my wisdom is my lower score. I had to put 13 points into strength
It's always a
because
trade-off somewhere. 13 in strength you had to do.
I have to because of two-handed fighting.
Ah, so that's another one that the planner, I'm sure, would have
Yeah.
flagged up for me because I would never have gotten onto that.
Yeah, two-handed fighting feat, I take that at level 3 because I can't take it at 1
Hmm.
because it requires a strength of 15. And even though I have a +8 tome and I get +2 ability at 1,
You
it doesn't
can't
take
quite
effect
get
until
there. No.
after you pick your feats and build the character.
Ah.
So I can't get it until level 3. So my first feat is actually improved feint at level 1, which is a good feat.
Improved feint.
Yes, it's basically a bluff attack. It's a
Alright.
+2 weapon damage. You hit them and it makes them bluffed to where they turn around and you can hit them for sneak attack damage too.
Now that's not one I've ever tried with.
It's definitely good. It can help make them turn around to where when they're attacking, they're not attacking you. They're just swinging air because they bluff.
We like to hear.
You know, so it's kind of a defensive but also offensive type feat. Yeah. If this build, the last build wasn't bad. The rogue wizard, it was tanky.
It certainly was. I mean, I died at least once just following you into a situation where I thought, why have I gone in there? I can't do this. And I got torn to pieces and you were still going.
It's tanky, but the damage is not high, but it's not low. It's mediocre, medium.
I think
Not
everything is
mediocre,
a
but
somewhat
medium.
of a trade-off, isn't it? My damage,
Yes.
especially against the boss, is pathetic.
But in mobs, your damage is high.
With the standard things, I can do reasonable damage, but only when
Yeah.
they are helpless. That's why helpless is very interesting to me.
Your ice flowers and stuff help that, right?
Yes, ice
Yeah.
flowers is lovely.
Yeah, so
Such a
you were
short
killing stuff real fast before I could ever get cranked up and going.
It's a team effort,
Because
remember.
well, yeah, but my build requires building up power
Right,
by
yeah.
attacking stuff. Yes, it may be slow for me to kill it, but it's actually helping me build my power.
Oh, so in killing things too quickly, I was making it difficult for you to do the
I
power.
never could build the new power.
Oh, crap.
Oh, that's fine. That's just the way it was.
So the
But when I
build was not a good match for you then.
No, it's a great match. You were killing stuff. You were doing great. But yeah, it kind of slows me down because it doesn't allow me to start building my spell power and melee power.
No.
So that's where that one boss I went off to the side and went after in the scavenger hunt or whatever it was, the sewer one.
The Otiug, yes.
Yeah, I went off to the side to fight that boss to start building up my power.
Yeah.
Because I had to, I have to do certain combos back and forth between melee and magic.
That was one of the few areas I thought I did okay with. Because, oh crap, these are healed by lightning, aren't they? That's not good.
Oh, yeah. The
golems.
Yep.
I decided that you could use some heals, and instead of messing about, I just did the heal instead. I think between me and Gress, we kept you in good shape, didn't we?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm undead, so I take a penalty to heal anyways with that build.
Yeah.
But I did make sure I increased my healing amp so it wouldn't be so bad. Dirty was saying I wasn't really that bad to heal. We had, when I was running the R8s with Dirty and some other people, there was another Pale Master there that was pure Pale Master. He said that one was difficult to heal. Because they never put anything into positive healing amp. I did.
Yeah.
So You know, they
So it
probably
did
had like
make a
20.
noticeable difference then, despite the
Yeah,
known complaints.
I had over 100 positive heal amp and over 200 negative heal amp.
All right.
Most Pale Masters only have like 20 positive heal amp at that.
Oh crikey! So you've got to decide, a bit like the Warforged. I think somebody made the comparison,
Yeah,
didn't they? You've got to
that's a
decide.
very good comparison.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I wanted to be able to be healed by party members too, so I made sure to find a way to have that included.
Yeah. I think with the build being so tanky as well,
Yeah.
you're never gonna die from a couple of shots. So you're always gonna be in a position where a heal would get you out of it.
Well, it's also because I don't have the capstone for Pale Master, which was the greater Death Aura. So I only had the regular Death Aura and the lesser, so it was healing me, but not for massive amounts. I needed to be able to be healed by positive energy if I could to supplement my negative healing. So yeah, I even took renewal and I use it on myself too. I mean, in Reaper it's not the greatest, but it helps.
Renewal is awesome. Well, if you're a positive healed, it's awesome. I suppose for you it would have been acceptable.
It wasn't bad. It really wasn't. It was actually healing me for about in between my two death auras for the amount of hit points it healed me.
So you
So
were
that was
using the
actually
lesser and the normal one.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't horrible, but it helped. And anyone else that threw positive healing on me actually healed me pretty good.
And you were saying you were killing things in
Oh yeah,
the Reaper
Reaper
8
8?
and you were not dying, so
No, not really. I mean, I did die some, but not.
but not chronically so.
No, I could go a few quests without dying.
Wow. I certainly can't do that at that level. No way.
Oh, I had to avoid the Doom Worker, so I
Oh.
mean, I had to hit them from distance. I could take one hit, maybe two from them, and that's it. If they hit me a third time, I was dead.
One here, one, and that's that.
I could usually take one hit, and sometimes two, if they didn't hit me too hard the first time.
If I give them a second chance, that's it. Good night. Definitely.
But usually those I try to hit with my Meteor Swarm and stuff like that, try to kill them as quick as possible, which usually I drew the aggro too.
I mean, that's one thing about that build. It's nice and flexible, isn't it? You have range if you want it, AoE. You can do the melee thing too. Got a little bit of everything. I suppose that's the price you pay for the flexibility. You can do just about everything, but nothing amazingly.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't that bad. It just...
You didn't hang around for too long at the cap, so maybe, or was it that because you were doing a lot of Reaper 8, weren't you? Had you exhausted the possibilities?
I ran a lot of stuff. I had run all of Sharn, all of Ravenloft.
You did the Dread, I know, because All said she saw you in
Yeah.
there.
I did Isle of Dread. I did Salt Marsh.
Oh, so you had more or less exhausted it all.
Mines of Teffelmer.
Oh, crikey. How did it hold up in there?
Oh, it held up pretty good. Like I said, that one, I mean,
I've always
I
found
think
that
I
pretty
died.
brutal, that Tetiamat.
I died in 2 of the quests. I didn't die very often. There were a few of the quests I never died. And you know, I have to be, or my character's built to be melee, so I was in the middle of it.
Oh my god.
Did Slave Lords too?
Oh, that can be rough.
Yeah, the last chain, the part 3, we didn't do it on Reaper 8. We did it on Reaper 7.
Part 3, yes. That last room, my goodness me.
And I didn't even die.
Wow.
A few others did. About half of our
sure.
party died in that final fight.
That's just tough, isn't it? Just
Yeah,
tough.
and I got hit a few times, but I didn't die.
I guess who's forgotten the Sun Sword, I think. Oh shit, there's a Reaper in here.
Tranquil pool.
But yeah, it wasn't bad.
But reading between the lines, you were lacking something.
There you are.
It
This seems
it
so familiar.
feels like there should be something I could do to it to make it better, but I
In
don't know
what
what.
respect? Because it's kind of spread out a bit. Yeah. As is, you know, with the amount of things, the versatility it has.
Yeah, I'd have to focus it more. But then what would that damage, you know, by doing the focusing?
Well, that would be your choice, wouldn't it? I mean, where was it? Surely it wasn't lacking in the trap department.
No, it wasn't lacking in that at all. What I'm looking at is damage, but I'm not sure what's considered good damage for more of a melee build.
Well, for the pure builds that have nothing, you know, in the way of traps or anything else to offer, I guess you would compare against like a barbarian type, that kind of thing, would you?
I think they do more damage.
Or a paladin.
Because even my spells weren't doing like massive damage like Crimean or when Joker was a Pale-Master. You know, the spells themselves.
Yeah, but you were way down on power compared to where those
Yeah,
guys are, weren't you? Because of
quite
the
a bit.
trade-offs you'd had to make in the build.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was way down on power, so my biggest damage is only like 13, 14,000 points damage, which is not really a lot for a spell.
Even with the right
But
circumstances.
yeah, even with the right circumstances, it was weak in spell power, but I like was talking about. I traded off because I can melee. So if I ran out of spell points, it didn't matter. I still had melee ability, which still did pretty decent damage. The melee was hitting for a problem. Well, you know, I'd have to add all the things up, like the weapon damage itself, the procs on the weapon, the elemental damage.
Yeah.
All together with all that, probably like 3 to 4,000, maybe 5,000 a hit. But you know, I have very fast strike, speed, and double strike, and shield bashing too on that build. So I was hitting fast.
You found the
I thought you were saying that in these really difficult
the legends say it blazed with a blinding light.
things you were doing,
but this
with,
is just a lifeless hilt.
I presume
Perhaps
players
Arena knows how
experienced
to
on
make
that
it shine
level, you
again.
were in the good end of the number of kills.
What?
So it can't have been that bad, what was being done.
True, but I wonder how many of those kills I guess you'd say I stole from someone else.
Like the bear.
That's kind of what I'm wondering, is because I don't know. I mean, it wasn't bad, it was tanky. Dirty was always tanking. She was a tank favored soul.
Yeah.
You know, almost 6,000 hit points.
Wow.
And then I was right behind, you know, on the other side of the monster boss or whatever, and she would like do that heal me, but I would be fighting right there with her. Everyone else was casting.
I've rarely, if ever, known what it's like. I mean, the closest I've ever come is Annie's bear, which is not exactly a tank. You just have to spend more time healing it. But
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been me that's been beaten to a pulp usually. So it must be quite a luxury to have somebody else being focused on and to be able to do what you're supposed to do without running away like hell.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, like I said, it wasn't bad.
Irina takes the
And actually, in
I
your
guess
case,
maybe
it was nice to know that if you were focused on, you could potentially stand up to one or two big hits.
Yeah, I can stand up to a few big hits. The Doom Reapers were about the only thing that hit me the worst.
Oh,
Everything else was not so bad.
But the water
those
lapping the
things are
edge of the
just.
pool. Suddenly, an image appears in the sparkling waters of the pool. A handsome youth
I'm
with a
hoping
kind
that
and
all's
noble
got enough
visage.
damage now so that
The
if one
sadness
does
in his
pop up,
eyes turns to
it
sudden
just gets
joy.
annihilated before it
Tatiana,
gets to us, because
it has been
otherwise
so long.
we're going to be
Come, my love,
mincemeat.
let us be together at last.
On that build, I had, what, 3 forms of crowd control?
Karina gasps.
Yes,
Like
you
great
had the
color
same
spray.
3 as me, so that was very strong.
Yeah. Yeah, and saves on those are really high.
As she reaches for Sergei, she is pulled down beneath the rippling water and into her lover's
I
embrace.
think the only thing you didn't
You have
have that
never
I
seen
do,
a
that's
happier couple
arguably
as they
not
begin
really
to
needed,
fade
is
from
the
view. For a
earthquake
moment,
thing.
all is quiet.
I quite like that, because that's
Then a
doable
peal
from
of
long
thunder
range to
shakes the
prepare
land,
things.
and a deep, dark voice
So I
from
tend
beyond
to
the
do that and
mountains
then rush
cries
in
out.
and hammer them while they're on the floor.
A dark figure appears near the shrine.
Escape! Escape to where I cannot follow!
Cries Strahd.
You helped her. Make you suffer for that!
Strahd
Build
winces
just didn't
as he
have
enters
the,
cave. Part of his place is holy
that sparkling
power
magic
mixed
that made
in.
me like, oh wow, I want to keep playing this one.
Thinking you might win.
What's that, sorry?
Darkness belongs to
Guess
me.
that build just didn't have that sparkling magic.
Ah,
Playing this one.
that's kind of the impression I'm getting listening to you talk about it.
Yeah. Wasn't bad. It just didn't have that.
All
I mean, like my ranger build. You know, the ranger build I did.
Yeah.
I was doing massive damage to single target.
Well, that's
That was cool.
yeah, that's kind of a
But-
given with those builds.
But it was. You notice I only did 1 life with it.
Is that because you got bored of it?
Kind of. And it has it.
With that, Strahd vanishes
I-
in the wind.
It's not bad. I mean, I kept
For a moment,
gear, you know,
you
the bow and
despair at being
everything,
left
but
behind
it's
in this dreary, defeated land.
If I had my time again, I would have made my
without
second
warning,
character
the
something
sun
more
sword
interesting.
blazes forth with a warm,
Red
bright
was
light.
sort of a first
You
life
pick up the sun
ranger at the
sword.
cap,
The
and he
instant
was
you
so
touch
bad
the
because
hilt of
the
dazzling
bow
weapon, you
things were
realize
so
that he
bad.